Once upon a time, a holy man with a small following was travelling through a picturesque village and stopped now and then to admire the various blessings bestowed upon the village. The man paused at the river and with his hands extended expressed how the Lord had blessed this village with this wonderful riverside. He stopped at the park and exclaimed how the Lord had blessed the villagers with this magnificent expanse of grass and trees. He then stopped at a beautiful garden where a gardener was busy at work and expressed how the Lord had blessed this village with this beautiful garden. Now, hearing this, the gardener paused, turning from his work with a loud but friendly voice said, "Sure, and you should have seen this beautiful garden when the Lord had it all to himself." Your brain is full of potential, but your potential will not automatically organize and activate itself without your conscious involvement. In order to point your potential at worthwhile things, you have some decisions to make about what you want. Recent science now estimates that you have as many as 100 billion brain cells, and the potential interconnections between your brain cells is into the trillions. Your brain will never run out of storage capacity. You can learn infinitely, and beyond that, you are infinitely flexible. Despite what you may have been conditioned to believe, you can change. You can make an unlimited number of adjustments in what you believe, how you think about yourself, your skills, your abilities, your behaviors, the feelings that you have about yourself and your life. You have the potential to make the changes that you want. But you cannot just leave your mind to its own devices and expect to flourish. And here is why. If you do not feed instructions to your mind about what you want, then it will find its own focus. And guided by the influence of things around you, that's like leaving it up to chance. As Anthony Robbins says, leave your garden unattended for too long and the weeds automatically take over. Now here's the crux of it. Your mind at a foundational level is a survival mechanism. Well, what does that mean for you? Well, it means that your mind will have a natural tendency to pay attention to potentially negative things in order to avoid them or deal with them. You see, the things that are nice and fine and good are not really of any worry or threat to us, and so at a primal level, we don't need to pay too much attention to them. It's the things that aren't right that command our attention. Why? Well, because as survivors, we need to be aware of that which could become a danger to us, a threat in any way. Think about it. Why do you think the news mainly covers the bad happenings, all of the bad happenings that they could possibly find? Is it somebody else's morbid obsession? No, we have a natural tendency to be interested or even become fixated on the possible problems and dangers of life. Why are action movies just so compelling to so many of us? Because they are full of danger, which draws in our unconscious focus and provides us with a roller coaster of emotions. Your survivor is your default underlying mechanism, and that is why, if purely left to its own devices, your mind can become too fixated on negative things. Now, am I saying that this mechanism is bad? No, it's good, of course, and you need it. It's a very, very good thing indeed that you have an awareness of what could happen in various places or situations depending on what you do and where you go. However, what I am saying is this. If we overfill on negative inputs, then we can fall into a sense of learned helplessness. Our mind tends to do more of what it has been doing recently, and so the more we focus on negative things, the more we start to focus and notice more and more negative things, until such things and thoughts just can consume us and get us feeling depressed, frustrated, and even helpless. There's a part of your mind called the reticular activating system. Its job is to allow into your awareness that which it thinks is most relevant and useful to you. By focusing too much on negative things, your reticular activating system thinks that that is a command to keep bringing into your awareness those things and those things more and more. But your reticular activating system can work in the opposite direction, of course. So as you start to feed positive imagery and affirmative statements through your mind, your reticular activating system will see this as an instruction to allow into your awareness more of that which is relevant to your attaining your goals and living the life that you want. Now, as I mentioned in a previous video, you only really need two things to start becoming more positive, confident, and effective. Number one, a vision of your future that excites you, that feels good and entices you towards it. And number two, mental, emotional conditioning. Because life is full of influences, both positive and negative. You already know many of the influences that you've had so far in your life are likely to have been full of negative messages. Your mind has been exposed to these things through the environments that you've lived in and been in, and the people you've met, the people you've been around, from disappointments in your life experience, from the news and all the media now around us. We need to condition and recondition ourselves so that we can be worldly and aware and yet still have a positive mindset that allows us to be the best that we can be. In other sections of this YouTube channel, you are going to be guided to become clearer about what you really want in your life. You're going to discover what your life is about, and you're going to create for yourself that all-important vision of your future, which will then kick in a whole new level of positive energy and confidence inside you. Meanwhile, in this stream of videos, in this section, we are going to start sending effective instructions through to your unconscious mind in a process of mental emotional conditioning. So let's get to it. In the next video, I'm going to teach you how to talk to your unconscious mind.